Hi and welcome to another edition of Onside SA, and we've got a lot to talk about today, but firstly we want to get hold of our English pundit. We've managed to get Stevie B on the line. We've missed him the last couple of weeks, and Budge, it'll be good to talk to him. Steve, Are you there? Hello, Steve.
Hello, morning.
Morning, Steve. At least we can hear you. At least we've got through to you. We've got rid of the gremlins, even though we've had bad weather here. How are things in Blighty?
Not too bad. We're actually, the sun is peeking through, so it's going to be a nice day today.
Excellent. Well, I'm pleased to hear that. We've got great football coming up. We've got the expert Budge with me. Budge, let's fire a few questions at Steve.
Yeah, Steve, how are you going this morning?
Yeah, hi, morning, Budge. How are you?
Not too bad. Any more injuries on the United-Liverpool front?
Well, I think not that I heard, but I mean that's obviously the big Premiership game. I think after the international break, it seems a while since we've had some Premier League football. So, that's going to be a great game to get the weekend going at Saturday lunchtime.
Okay, you don't think Mourinho will go there, park the bus a game, and try and do a smash and grab?
Yeah, he doesn't like losing at Anfield, so but I think they got the players. I think it's hard to predict how this one's going to go. I mean, both teams hate to lose this game, so but they're both going to be without players. Obviously, Liverpool will miss Mane, and United, still without Pogba, and obviously now without Fellaini.
Yeah, true. Okay, on the brighter side, you think Spurs can break their Wembley League hoodoo?
I think they're going to do it. I was I'd say fortunate enough, or maybe not. I was at Wembley last week to see England play, and Harry Kane managed to score. So I think if he can do that, I'm sure he's going to be looking to get on target. Yeah. So I've got a feeling they will do. I think this is their opportunity now. I mean, they need to as well. They need to keep pace with the big three.
Yeah, that's true. I was talking to an Evertonian this morning. He says Koeman's under severe pressure. How many games do you think he's got left?
I mean, they sort of backed him quite heavily as well. I mean, obviously, they did sell the crown jewels of sort of Lukaku, but they have backed him. And I think, we don't know what's happening internally. I think that I'd be surprised if they fire him sort of immediately. But, he's under pressure to get results. They spent money. I think expectations on Merseyside were that they were, sort of a team that's going to finish around sort of 7th, 8th place. So I think I think there is a lot of disappointment at the moment. So I think you're right. I think he is under pressure. But obviously, if they lose another couple of games, then I think the board are going to have to make some serious decisions there.
Yeah. Stevie, I just wanted to ask you a question. Let's talk Championship. Your beloved Fulham have got a tough one. They play Budgie's Preston.
Yeah, I mean they've since we last spoke, they've obviously had a couple of wins away from home. Sort of get us back in contention. Preston have had a very good start of the season. They've only lost one of their first 11. They're sitting in a playoff place. I think if we beat them, then we will go above them. So it's evenly poised. I think last season we did the double over them. But they're a hard-working team. They haven't got many standout players, Preston, but they are hard-working, and I think it's going to be a tight game. We don't seem to, unfortunately. We haven't started well at home. We seem to play a lot more open away from home.
Yeah, I think the pressure's on. My boy's best defensive record in the league, 6 goals conceded in, I think it's 11 games. And the only team that beat us, Derby, got a last-minute penalty, a dodgy, one of these groping penalties. But I think it'll be a tight game. Obviously, your boys are favourites. But if we can get a point, we'll be happy.
Yeah.
I see the big game. I see Aston Villa are coming right now, Steve. What do you think, Aston Villa Wolves?
That's probably that. I mean, I think Wolves Villa is the standout game in the Championship, the sort of Saturday evening game. Wolves are, I think, now been installed as favourites for promotion. Okay. Villa, since their sort of opening, couple of weeks when they had a bit of a nightmare, they've come good. I think they're unbeaten in 7 now. I think John Terry is obviously marshalling the defence. They've had 1 or 2 injuries, but they seem to be talking to Villa's season ticket holder in the last few days, and they seem to be. They're not setting the world alight. They're not playing very expansive football, but they're making themselves hard to beat, and I think that's what you need to do. Yeah, so that's going to be a very good game.
Yeah, let's hope so. Pity we don't get the Championship games here anymore. One team that I've done my money on the last few weeks on Middlesbrough. Now they're away at Barnsley. Surely they've got to take care of that.
Well, I mean, Fulham were home to Middlesbrough in our last home game a few weeks ago, and In all honesty, Middlesbrough they were slightly disappointing. I was expecting more from them. They got out of jail with an 88th minute equaliser. But they've got some good players. But they've had to change the team around. They've but they've got some good players. You'd expect them to do well.
Yeah.
I am surprised. I suspect they will be there or thereabouts. If not automatic promotion, then I think certainly they're going to be close to the playoffs.
Right, Stevie. Just on a final note, again, the Scottish couldn't qualify.
Sorry, you just cut out.
Sorry, I'm just saying Scotland didn't go through.
No, well, this has been the story of their for the last sort of 18 years or so. I mean, it was in their own hands. They'd had a couple of good results. They were 1-0 up, in Slovenia. They knew what they had to do, but it sounds as if on the day in the second half they didn't play well. But yet, they got themselves back in contention with a late equaliser and sort of huffed and puffed for a few minutes, but couldn't quite do it. Much the same as Wales. I mean, Wales. It was in their hands. They needed to avoid defeat to effectively get into the playoffs, and couldn't quite do it. So obviously disappointing. Two more home nations not got through. Northern Ireland, who are probably the least fancied, are there in the playoffs. So an opportunity for them.
Yeah. All right, Stevie. Wonderful talking to you. We're going to get on with the show, and we'll speak to you next week. Thanks for your time.
Absolutely. Look forward to it. Take care.
Steve.
Thanks, Stevie. Thanks very much.
Bye.
All right. One thing I didn't ask Stevie, which I should have asked him, was last one standing. He's back in there in the scrum. The second one starts this week, Budge, and the entries are pouring in.
Yeah, a lot better than a lot of money to collect next day or two, Paul. But,
the people are coming. They want to. It's bragging rights. It's something you can phone your mate up and say bad luck when you want him to go out.
Well, I think a lot of people initially were worried. What is this competition? And the longer it's gone on, now everyone, geez, I didn't know it was that simple. Well, it's not simple, but it's good fun.
It's good fun. But if you just want to clarify a couple of points, we did say in the rules that if you get down to the end and there's 2 or 3 or 4 guys and they all go out that week, they carry on.
Yeah.
Everyone, even though they've made one mistake, they've made it further down the road.
Yes.
Because people have said, listen, we should all go back into pool. It doesn't work like that. We've got to stick to the original rules.
I've had people ask me about a carryover. I said, what happened if you have 3 competitions during the season and no one wins it?
Yes.
Do you and I take the money and disappear?
Yeah, no, we've got to pay.
Yeah, that's the English rules, Paul.
Yeah,
and the terms and conditions are on the site.
Yeah, so we stick with that. So if I was you, it's a very valid point. I've had a lot of people say to me, listen, they should go out. I was only wrong once and they've been wrong once and they're still in. But the rules are whoever's left, if there isn't an eventual winner, those that got to that stage have another chance. So again, it's Larry Weinstein, who I tipped to win. Gary Leach and Skip.
Annie Wallace, yeah.
Annie Wallace. Well done to them. But the new one starts this weekend. Make sure you're in by at least 10 o'clock on Saturday. Get hold of Budgie and go for it. So, right, Budge, let's get on to the South African qualifiers now. South American qualifiers. Let me get that right. Chile are out.
Yeah, well, they played in the Confederations Cup in Russia in June. They played 4 games after that, Paul. Won and lost 3. They lost 2 at home.
So they're not the side anymore.
Not the same side. They look tired.
And Argentina took their time to get it right. Messi's magic.
Well, it's Messi on his own. Now he knows what Maradona had all those years ago.
Yeah.
When I had a look at the stats, they won 7 of the 18 games. And everyone says, you can't have a World Cup without Messi. But if you can't beat Venezuela, Bolivia, Paraguay, Ecuador, and those teams, they won seven games. And the worst thing was they only scored 19 goals.
Yeah.
They were the second lowest in the group.
They're not a good team.
No, they're not a good team.
Not
it's
a good
Messi
team.
and one or 2 others.
So Messi got 7 of
they
their
got
goals.
through.
So Colombia gone through.
Yeah.
Does James still play for them?
Yeah, James Rodriguez, he scored the goal.
Yeah, he's a good player. Uruguay through.
That's Suarez, Cavani,
and Brazil are still looking good. So that means Peru play New Zealand intercontinental.
Yeah, which is sad for the
New Zealand won't beat Peru.
That's why the Australians jumped ship. They moved to the Asian Conference.
I don't blame them. The North American qualifiers, America out. They needed a draw.
Yeah, needed a draw. They got beat by Trinidad and Tobago at home.
And I watched the replay. The ball never crossed the line. That second goal, they said you've got to have technology. No technology. The ball is that far from crossing the line. They give them a goal and they get the long shot. They win. So Mexico, Costa Rica, Panama.
Yeah.
First time for Panama.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the intercontinental playoffs, Honduras, Australia.
Yeah, so it's the 4th team from North America play the 5th team from Asia. You know, Australia beat Syria in the playoff during the week.
So Australia can beat Honduras. Is it
be.
a one-off?
Home and away.
Home and away. Okay. Let's do African qualifiers now. There are always, those that have reached the finals already budge. Tunisia have gone through. Nigeria, Egypt. Three good teams.
Yep.
Ivory Coast must beat Morocco.
Yeah. Well, Ivory Coast tossed it, you know, because they drew their last game. And they got beat by Gabon at home prior to that. Otherwise, they were certainties. Now, Morocco's gone ahead of them. But that's the last game. Ivory Coast at home to Morocco. Ivory Coast have to win.
Now,
otherwise
let's look at the Bafana situation budget. It was always bleak. The replay against Senegal won't have Mane.
No.
But I thought they played well in the 3-1.
No, we scored early, which is always a plus.
Yes.
And first half, we were all 3-0 and
so
hung on.
now it gives them how many points?
But we've got to win both games. If we win both games, we go through.
Are you serious? Yeah. And those two games are two Senegals?
Yeah, Senegal home first, then Senegal away. Same weekend of the intercontinental playoffs, 9th and 14th.
So there's a glimmer of hope.
Well, it would have been handier if we'd kept the 3 points from then it was all to play for. But tough call.
So November the 10th, remember that? South Africa, Senegal, November the 14th, Senegal, South Africa. Keep our fingers crossed. Great to have Bafana there, but it looks a mountain to climb. Okay, UEFA Group 1 group winners qualify. These are the ones that are qualified, Bud.
Yep.
France,
yep.
Portugal, Germany, Serbia, Poland, England, Spain, Belgium, Iceland. Just touching on England, because we follow their football. They won their games. Harry scored in both games. Not good reports coming out of their performances.
You know, they're a poor team. If you go through the entire team, there's not many good players. You know, you've got Harry Kane up front. There's one or two, Paul, but you look at the back.
There's no flair. Who had a go the other day? One of the English guys said, where are our flair players? Every guy in England is taught, get the ball 2 steps, pass it, keep it. Where are the flair players? Where are the Gascoignes? Where are the Waddles?
Well, that's what they're trying to get Wilshere back.
And they're saying, one pundit had a go at Rashford and Dele Alli saying, every time they get the ball playing for England, they think they have to do something special. They don't have to. And it's not coming off all the time. So Ali is not firing like he was a few months back, and they've got to stop doing that.
But Paul, look at the midfield players they got. They got Henderson. Now got a lot of Liverpool mates. They don't rate him.
Yeah.
Now you've got Dyer. He's not a creative midfield player. He's a holding player.
Holding player.
You know, they've got Huddleston. You know, you have a look who they've got.
Wing's got to run.
You know, Wing's got to run, and there's just no creativity for them.
Yeah. Okay, and the playoffs. Now let's get to playoffs and. Seeded and unseeded.
Yeah.
That's very important. The seeded teams: Italy, Croatia, Denmark, Switzerland. Unseeded: Sweden, Greece, Republic of Ireland, Northern Ireland. So Carl Lafferty's still there.
Carl Lafferty's still got a squeak. As long as you avoid Italy and Croatia, then you get one of the other two.
When does that draw get done?
That's the same, the 9th and 14th. The draw gets done this Tuesday coming.
Netherlands out again, Budge?
Yeah. They're just a bad crop of players, you know. It's all.
Ocean Robbins.
Well, your man Vincent Janssen's a centre forward. So what chance have they got?
Okay. Let's just tell you exactly. World Cup's building up. We're going to start working our way through the World Cup. But here's the breakdown. There's 32 World Cup teams. 13 from Europe, 4 from Asia, 5 from Africa, 4 from South America, 3 from North America, 2 from the Intercontinental playoffs, and 1 the host country, Russia. Always host countries in.
That's one in.
That's how we, only way we'll get it back. Intercontinental playoffs, South America.
Well, that's Honduras, Australia, and
Asia, North America.
Peru,
okay.
New Zealand.
We've had our week for internationals, Budge. Now we get straight into the big guns. Now, everybody's been putting the boot into United. They've won 6 or 7 games. They've been outstanding. I heard you ask Stevie B if they're going to park the bus. Let's go on the list first, but. They are the first game, but on the list in front of me, it's not the first game that you put out. The first game you put out is Tottenham, who are third in the league.
That's the other sheet. The first game up is Man United. That's Liverpool.
United. Let me get my sheets in order. Thank you. Now we're under. Okay. Liverpool in 7th, Man United 2nd. Liverpool are good at home.
Yeah.
They're going to gallop. Mane out. Who's going to come in?
Well, they'll play Firmino and they'll play. I think they'll push Salah and they'll push Coutinho further forward. The last game they played.
What about
Coutinho.
Daniel?
No, Sturridge be on the bench.
Be on the bench.
And he'll play 3 up. I wonder about.
They've still got Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, and Big Feet at the back.
Yeah, still.
The goalie's a fisherman.
Back,
Only thing he does well is save penalties.
Yeah.
Can they win?
Liverpool?
Yeah.
No, obviously at home.
Yeah.
This has all the 70s and 80s where United was struggling and Liverpool were the main team. United was sitting waiting for them for 2 weeks. Invariably they won, and the next week United got beat to Birmingham, one of the lesser teams.
Did you read about Gary Neville's chirp? He said, all the years I played for Sir Alex Ferguson, the week of the United game, he was a different man.
Yeah.
Only did hair dry treatment there. It was big for him.
Yeah.
He doesn't care how it happened as long as we won.
Yeah.
If we lost, he'd sit there for 25 minutes in the change room,
Oh,
Sir Alex. He said when he got in the passage of the week of the Liverpool game, he'd say, hello, son, move on. If it was a normal game, he'd talk to you. He said very focused and prepared, because this has always been a big one. Two massive clubs, the two best clubs in Premier League.
Well, I think it's the biggest game in the world for the simple reason Real Madrid-Barca, which has obviously gone above it, is purely Messi versus Ronaldo.
Yeah.
We never spoke about that clash for years until Ronaldo got to Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Liverpool, Man United, everybody's got something to say.
Everybody, yeah.
You know, and as long as United don't get beat, I'd settle for a point.
What's your prediction, a draw?
I think it'll be a draw. I
Will
think
he park the bus?
He'll start early on.
He likes parking the bus.
Well, he's got to, Paul. But, we've got Lukaku and we've got a couple of grey hands, Rashford, Martial. I hope he unleashes all three of them.
Yeah.
Because that back four is... But, Liverpool in defence of them, going
they've
forward...
only lost 2 of their last 17 away games, United.
And that was during our Europa League campaign.
And
we lost to Spurs and Arsenal.
Yeah, the two London guns. Okay, so we're going with the draw. In your
I
opinion,
think
okay?
it'll be a draw, yeah.
Great early kickoff. Don't forget early kickoff, guys. Burnley, West Ham.
Burnley have done great away from home. Now, there's 3 home games. They were lucky against Crystal Palace.
Yeah, definitely.
They got beat by West Brom, they're a little bit unlucky. And then they drew with Huddersfield. Away from home, it's easy playing the big teams, Paul. You can park the bus.
And they play a different football. Do you know, at Wembley, when they were 1-0 down to Spurs, they put 2 centre forwards on and played the long ball.
Yeah.
Give Sean Dyche credit. But at home, they've got to turn it around sooner. Well, West Ham, how are they doing?
I like West Ham to get something out of this game.
A draw,
Paul.
maybe?
They've tightened up at the back. And I just think people never respected Burnley last year. Now they are. And I think it'll be a tight game. I think it'll be a 1-1 game. That's how I see it. I think West Ham will get something out of it.
Would you take the 4-10 Chelsea?
Yes.
I would. I think it's
It's
great
even
bet.
money to win by more than 1 goal. Palace haven't scored a goal.
Yeah.
Lost all 8 games.
Stevie
Chelsea,
B took a bet to how many minutes before he gets the money.
Well, I don't see them scoring here. So you would expect Chelsea to be a comfortable afternoon for them. Yeah.
Is it even money by more than 1 goal?
Yeah. That's when
That'll be me. That'll be me, definitely. Man City play Stoke City. Man City at home, too good for Stoke.
Should be, Paul. It's Mark Hughes' old team, and he's never been happy that he goes back there after being fired. But they can't keep a clean sheet, Stoke. That was always their forte. Nice and tight. Ryan Shawcross has been injured the whole year.
Yeah.
It should be Man City the way they're playing.
Lost 15 league games for City, 1-12, drawn 3.
Looks... They should be too good, Paul. I know on the day.
Swansea City, they are playing against Huddersfield Town.
Yeah, they've lost all 3 home games, Swansea, but this is the type of game you'd expect them to get a result in. It'll be tight.
They're not the worst side about. They've lost some good players.
Yeah, they got beat by Watford at home, which was a major blow. But Huddersfield, I think the wheels have come off. They're not scoring as many goals as they should. If they get a draw, Huddersfield...
Last 5 league fixtures, drew 2, lost 3.
Yeah.
Against
Spurs,
only 1 goal.
Yeah.
Spurs, they were never in the race.
Never in the hunt.
Never in the
It
race.
was just the way they defended, Paul.
Okay, Tottenham, we touched on. Tottenham should beat Bournemouth. Bournemouth will have a go. Bournemouth held us to a draw last year at Bournemouth.
It was 0-0, but that's there, Paul.
That's tight.
Looking the other day, I was reading an article about Spurs and Wembley. Last year, at White Hart Lane, where Spurs played, it was the 2nd smallest ground in the Premiership. The smallest ground was Stoke City.
Okay.
The biggest ground, ironically, was Hull City, and they've been relegated. This year, Spurs play on the biggest pitch.
Is Wembley bigger than any Premier League?
Yeah.
Why
it's the biggest. It's wider and slightly longer.
Okay.
So now Spurs have gone from the 2nd smallest to the biggest.
Yeah, it could be a factor.
It is a factor, but they just got to make the alterations.
Just boom, 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 and get a couple of goals. But you never know. It could be the hoodoo. Let's see.
It should be an easy victory.
Yeah. Watford, Arsenal.
You never know with Arsenal, Paul. I was impressed with them the way they fought against Chelsea. I know they never had Ozil. They've won the last 4 after that, but you never know with Watford. Away from home, they're unbeaten. At home, they haven't won a game. They drew with Liverpool, lost to Man City, and the guy got sent off against Brighton. I think there's goals in this game, Paul. Any result wouldn't surprise me.
Brighton struggling along. Everton struggling along.
I think this is Everton's comeback. You know, when you have a look at their away games, they played Chelsea away, Man City away, and Man United away, all after Europa League games.
But they got thumped at home.
Yeah, they were disgraceful. But I think it's time he's got to wake up and say, well, listen, I can't keep playing two holding midfield players.
Yeah.
Schneiderlin's not good enough. I like it. He's got to play one.
Yes.
He keeps playing two.
Yeah.
You know, you're an attacking team, and the fans want to see you attack.
Yeah.
So I think this is a great fixture for him to get back to winning ways. I like Everton.
Southampton 12th, Newcastle United 9th, surprisingly.
It's the same every week for Southampton. They outplay teams and can't score. Yeah. But I just think this week, that Newcastle back four, I'm not really impressed with.
Their captain's a good player.
Yeah,
Gets up and scores
he signed
goals.
a nice contract.
Yeah, good player.
I think there's plenty of goals in this game, Paul.
Okay, let's
Sunday game, the main game on Sunday, spotlight. And I think the last game, Leicester-West Brom, you know, I fancied Leicester to win that.
They're far down at 17th,
Yeah. He's under pressure, Shakespeare. Doesn't get a result here. I think he's in trouble. But West Brom, you know, be careful here, Paul. I think this has got draw written over it, all over it.
Okay, the MTN Cup final in Durban.
In
Lovely
Durban,
to see it down here. And two ex-players who are coaching.
Yeah.
Done well. What do you think, Budge?
I like Supersport. You know, I think the draw is a big player here. You know,
Third, played 10th in the league.
Supersport, a lot of experience. They've gone away in CAF and they've got results. Yeah, I like the two boys up front. I think of the two teams, 18 at 10, I like that price. But the draw's a big player.
Okie dokie. Whoa, okay. They eliminated Polokwane and Bidvest, and they eliminated Kaizer Chiefs and Maritzburg United. Maritzburg United, who's in charge here?
That's Fadlu Davids.
Who's Clint Larson doing?
Golden
Mr.
Arrows.
Price. Golden Arrows. He got the
Manager of the month. Fatal. You saw what happened. Mane got Player of the Month last month. He's out for 6 weeks. Those are hoodoo awards. You don't want them.
Awards. Okay, let's go and see how our betting's going. And should be very interesting to have a look at. Here's the Soccer 6. Budge, tell me what's going on.
This is the international one, Paul. I think Real Madrid will be too good for their local neighbours, Getafe. Now, Juventus, the last 38 home league games, they've won 37 and drawn 1. The only game they've lost recently was a Super Cup game against Lazio. But at home, they should be too good for Lazio. So I've gone for Juventus. Alaves, Real Sociedad. Real Sociedad started off great, but they've lost their last 3. So I put the field in there. I've gone win and draw Supersport against Cape Town City. I've gone for the upset. You know, Messi and Suarez have just come back from their World Cup qualifiers. They've had 2 hard games, and if they don't play for Barcelona, you know, they're under pressure. I know they've won their last 14 league games, but I think this has got upset written all over it. And the last game, Napoli's the best team at the moment, league-wise in Italy. I think they'll at least get a draw or beat Roma. So we're playing out 2-1-6.
2-1-6, but just go to the next one.
Yeah, this is the English one. I've gone 3 bankers, 3 fields. You know, I've gone the field with Burnley, West Ham. I've banked Chelsea to beat Palace. I think Man City will be too good for Stoke. I've thrown the field in Swansea and Huddersfield. Banker Spurs, and the field looking for the upset. I know you could shave it and take...
Yeah, but that, you could bank Arsenal.
You know, you could bank Arsenal, but, you know, I don't think that'll pay
if you do.
You've
got to take a chance somewhere.
Arsenal's a team I've gone to beat this weekend. Tough. Watford, dangerous team, yeah?
All right, then let's go to 10.
Soccer 10, I've gone the field with Burnley, West Ham. I've banked Chelsea to beat Crystal Palace. I've gone Leeds are in good form at home against a Reading team who can't score away from home. I think Man City will be too good for Stoke. I think Norwich at home, who've come right under Daniel Farke, the Borussia Dortmund trainer, I think they'll win. I've gone the field with Sheffield United, Ipswich. I've gone Swansea City win and draw against Huddersfield. I've banked Spurs, and I've gone the field with the Watford Arsenal and the Birmingham Derby, Wolverhampton versus Aston Villa. You know, I know you could shave it. If you wanted to bank Arsenal, it comes to 108, but we've taken the chance.
We've been on form with these 13s and 10s, so let's hope we can get the 13 is where the money is, but you've got to get very lucky. Let's have a look at run through this, Budge.
Yeah, I've gone Arsenal win and draw at Watford. I obviously can't take the field. I think West Ham will get something at Burnley. I've gone banked Chelsea, banked Man City. I've gone Swansea, win and draw against Huddersfield. I've banked Spurs. I think Middlesbrough will finally come right against Barnsley. I've gone Brentford, win and draw against Millwall. They've drawn their last 4 at home. I thought sorry for Stevie B's team struggling at home, but I think they're obvious favourites against Preston. We'll take a draw. Sheffield United going well at home against Ipswich. You're inconsistent, so I've gone win and draw there. Sunderland have to come right. You know, if he doesn't, they've lost their last 4 at home. If they can't beat Queen's Park Rangers at home, who haven't won a game away from home this season. So I've thrown the draw as the upset. The last 2 of the Swedish games, Häcken against Eskilstuna. Fortunately, they both play on artificial surfaces. Häcken are 5th going well. Eskilstuna surviving for their life. 6 points from safety. I've gone Hacken in the draw. And Ostersund's, or believe it or not, still in the Europa League. They're still in the group stage. So they play Atletico Bilbao on Thursday. This will be the warm-up. I think
would they take players out?
No, because of the international break. Obviously, you want to play your best team and tune up for Atletico Bilbao. So I've banked them.
All right, Budge, the bets, where it's at. Let's go with your English Premiership quad.
Yeah, I've gone Chelsea to win by more than 1 goal at Crystal Palace. I think Everton at the price are a good bet to beat Brighton. And I've gone over 2.5 goals on the Southampton, Newcastle and Leicester West Brom games. I couldn't believe the odds.
Struggling goals. I'm surprised, but Southampton aren't scoring goals, and it's dried up a little bit for us.
It has. They've only scored 3 goals in the home games, but the players, when what they did to Man United in the second half, how they never scored, I don't know. So someone's going to catch it shortly. So I've taken the chance there.
Good
Worked
odds.
out over 20 to 1. I thought it was a great bet. Yeah.
Okay, English Championship quartet.
Yeah, I think Leeds will be too good for Reading. Likewise, Middlesbrough will be too good for Barnsley. And I've gone Norwich, who've come right, to be too good for Hull City. And I've gone win or draw Aston Villa against Wolves away. I think they've come right.
Game.
Unbeaten in 8. I think they'll at least
10
get
to
a
1.
point there. Yep.
Okay, both teams to score. This is a tough one.
Yeah, I've gone Watford Arsenal. I was going to throw Liverpool Man United in, but it's an early kick-off and it's going to be Park the Bus Mourinho. Yeah, I think Watford Arsenal will be plenty of goals. I think West Ham Burnley, I've got 1-1 written all over this. I think Bolton Sheffield Wednesday will be goals, and Derby Nottingham Forest on the Sunday game, 1900 to 200.
Yeah, but right while we're in the middle of this, we've got our new sponsor.
Yes.
Have we got the logo up anywhere?
Yes, the logo. Fine.
Have we got the logo if they're listening in the studio? Can you whop that up? Have you got the logo there? There we go. Well done. That's the initials for Dave Goss.
Yeah, Dave Goss.
Racing man, football man, Man United mad. And he's going to help sponsor for the air tickets. Yeah,
he's going to do the air tickets. I spoke to Dave.
Yeah, for the second, what's it called? Last one standing. Yeah, well done to Dave Goss and his business. And let's go on to your last bets now. What have we gone for there?
Yeah, it's the Spanish quartet. I've gone Celta Vigo to beat Las Palmas. I've gone over 2.5 goals in the Real Betis Valencia and Alaves Real Sociedad games, and both teams to score. Arbar against Deportivo La Coruña, 3,200.
Collis King?
And the Collis King, 6 on Ixa. Yeah, I've gone Chelsea to beat Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
Norwich to beat Hull City. I've gone Real Madrid to beat Getafe. I've gone Juventus to beat Lazio. Borussia Dortmund to beat RB Leipzig, and Marseille on Sunday to beat promoted Strasbourg, 3,100 to 200.
Well, Budge, we're getting the kitty up. Well done. You've been on song again. And well done to Gareth Parsons, who puts all our details together for us. He's doing a wonderful job as Gareth.
Brilliant job. Without him, we'll be under pressure.
He helps us a lot get the show right. But don't forget, we're ending off by reminding you of the last one standing. Bragging rights, a trip, accommodation, a game of your choice. And there are 3 of them fighting it out. As we said earlier, Gary Leach is in there with Ernie Wallace and Larry Weinstein. They're the 3 that are having another crack at it. But don't forget, it looks easy. As you've heard Bud say, Chelsea, Tottenham,
Man City, obvious bankers.
The obvious bankers. One of them is going to draw or lose, we know that. But let's hope it's not the hoodoo. Bud, that wraps it?
Yep. As I say, please, if you can get the things on by Saturday, 10 o'clock. I'm doing a Sabaya panel discussion for the Liverpool Man United game on Saturday.
Lovely.
So there'll be plenty of Liverpool supporters there.
Make sure you get all the people recorded, because we don't want anyone saying, I would have picked that. And I remember when I put it on last time, I put Bugsy's, he told me one team, I put on the wrong team, and he was out. So he's not talking to me anymore. But that's where we're at, and we'll see you next week. Make sure you're on side.